That you guys decided to brave the weather so that you could hear our musicians perform and be with us today as we enter into the Christmas time. This is a beautiful reminder of the light of divinity that shines in each of us. We are blessed to have a host of musicians that are going to perform for you tonight, as well as spiritual readings and some time for contemplation. Let us open with prayer. So I invite you to take a deep breath in. Close your eyes. Bow your head if you'd like. And hear these words by author Frank B. Whitney. I am that in you that lives. I am that in you that moves. I am that in you that shines. I am the Christ. I am that in you that's lovely. I am that in you that's unafraid. I am that in you that's enduring. I am the Christ. I am that in you that's divine. I am that in you that is holy. I am that in you that's God. I am the Christ. And so it is as it has always been and always shall be. All women, all children, all men. Our candlelight service tonight was designed by my teacher and colleague, the Reverend Kelly Isola. It's a ceremony using the elements of the Christmas story to remind us of our own innate spiritual capacities, the divine in us that is always expressing, always unfolding. As we light each of the 12 candles, I encourage you to see them as the 12 living lights that are within you. Lights that are always waiting to shine forth into the world. And now, to start us off, we have our beloved Sue Priest. us in a song. The words are on the back of your program.
I'm planning on doing all 3 verses, and in that hymnal in front of you on page 286 is all 3 verses. I learned today that in verse 2, the words brightest host was, I imagine, changed or originally written to citizens. So I'm going to do my best to, when I get there, say citizens. I didn't look. We'll hope so. Close enough. Ready, folks? Oh, come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, for the King of angels. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore in Christ the Lord. Sing, choirs of angels, sing in exaltation. Oh, sing, all ye bright hosts of heaven. Thank you very much. I've been practicing. Glory to God, all glory in the highest. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore in Christ the Lord. Yea, Lord, we greet thee for this happy morning, O Jesus. To thee be all glory given. Word of the Father, now in flesh appearing. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore in Christ the Lord.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And I've asked Rachel to light our first candle.
This one?
That's fine. They're all messed up.
Okay. So, blue is faith for Mary. Mary has a very special place in our hearts because she is the quintessential activity of faith. The angel Gabriel, a divine visitor, knocked on the door of her heart, asking her to do the impossible. This news probably brought some fear and filled her with questions. Yet the moment she stepped forward in faith and into an unknown future, she created a space within herself for infinite possibilities to be born. We light this candle to acknowledge our living light of faith, the light that calls us to forgive more fully and love more deeply. It calls each of us to be greater than we could have ever imagined.
In the Gospel of Luke, the shepherds are tending to their sheep when the angels appear. They are doing what they have done for generations, watching over what is precious and necessary for life. They represent the enduring, living light of strength, the power and purity of steadfast perseverance we embody as we navigate life. The shepherds are that voice within, reminding us we are not alone. We light this candle to acknowledge our living light of strength, the light that carries us through our joys and our sufferings. The light of strength allows us to watch over what is most precious in our own lives, because we know God is everywhere present.
Yellow is wisdom. The three wise men. In the time of Jesus, the Magi, or wise men, or mankind, had wisdom by being in touch with another reality. When they had the vision of Jesus' birth, they chose to act on it, at great risk to their own well-being. The Magi represents our capacity to seek guidance and answers, and to use that wisdom to create a world that works for all. We light this candle of wisdom to acknowledge our living light, the light that is the link between our divine and human nature. Wisdom directs us to act as love, compassion, joy, peace, and all divine ideas, bringing the invisible world into reality. Right in front.
Pink is love. In the Gospel of Matthew, the gifts the wise men bring to Jesus are gold, frankincense, and myrrh, rare, precious, and priceless in Jesus' world. The Magi traveled from faraway nations and knelt before the Christ child as a sign of love and devotion. These gifts remind us that we are each worthy of giving and receiving the priceless gift of love and belonging. We light this candle to acknowledge our living light of love, the light reminding us the Christmas story heralds the birth of a person who loves selflessly, and any person who loves in this way is fully alive within the gifts of the Magi.
I'm going to be singing a song called Violet in the Snow by Reverend Carrie Launder. Done this several Christmases. When it all began, God was so very far away. A mighty king whom man must honor and obey.
Many years ago in Bethlehem, a baby came like a violet in the snow.
And now we light the candle of power.
Divine spirits. In Hebrew, Bethlehem literally translates as house of bread. In early Christianity, it began to mean house of living bread, which we would call the power of truth. This power is the foundation on which we stand, infusing our words, thoughts, and deeds to transform the world. We light this candle to acknowledge our living light of power, the light that is the embodiment of the Christ. We leave echoes of perfection when speaking words of truth. The power of our presence in the world is the greatest gift we can offer humanity.
In the Gospel of Matthew, the wise men were guided by the Star of Bethlehem to the newborn baby. It lit their path, allowing them to follow a way to the beginning of a new world. The star symbolizes our ability to imagine and envision a transformed world and follow that vision to express the Christ. We light this candle to acknowledge our living light of imagination, the light we use to create and give shape to the sacred and to form God into what the world needs most: compassion, joy, love, courage, and peace.
Joseph, husband of Mary and father to Jesus, inspires us to view life through another's eyes. Joseph's character is strong and quiet, yet he has a desire to know the world in a more profound way, regardless of his challenges. We light this candle to acknowledge our living light of understanding, the light that is our ability to stretch and see with new eyes, taking in all that is happening, not just with our senses, but with our hearts and minds. This spiritual understanding leads us to knowing the peace that surpasses all human understanding.
The angel Gabriel comes to Mary to let her know she will miraculously give birth to a child. Little did she know he would become the way shower for the world on how to love, give, and forgive. The word angel means messenger from God.
this divine visitor knocking on Mary's heart with the message that seems impossible reminds us that our angels represent the will of our higher self, leading and calling us to forgive more fully and love more deeply. We light this candle to acknowledge our living light of will, the light that is our willingness to say yes to that which is calling us to be greater than we could have ever imagined.
The song is called My Profound Love. It was written by me. Do you know my profound love for you is guiding and seeing you through the darkness into the dawn? Oh, my love, do you know and open my light and know that this is right? To be present in all of my life, know my light. Do you know you are not alone? I walk with you so that you can let go. I have yearned and waited for so long. Feel my gentle wind and be strong. Oh, you're an eagle and take flight. Feel in your heart with all of your might. Profound love that I have for you. Just open your soul. I am present to you. I do know your profound love for me is guiding and seeing me through the darkness into the dawn. I know your love. I do know and open your heart and know that this is my right. To feel your presence in all of my life, oh my life. I do know I am not alone. You walk with me so that I can let go. I have yearned and waited for so long. I feel your gentle wind, I am strong. I am an eagle taking flight. I feel in my heart with all of my might. The profound love that you have for me. I open my soul. You are present to me. I do know your profound love for me.
And now we light the candle for order.
Dark green is divine order, manger. The writer of Luke tells us that when Jesus was born, he was wrapped in cloth and laid in a manger. This is an extraordinarily humble beginning, yet this simple, often unseen barnyard trough is a symbol for that current of spiritual law that is ever present and always accessible. We light this candle to acknowledge our living light of divine order, the light that is the naturally ordered hidden current of life we are always aligning with in order to bring forth a world in a balanced and harmonious way.
Orange is zeal, heavenly host. The prophet Isaiah wrote that a child will be born, the Prince of Peace, and heavenly hosts will express the zeal of the Lord. In the Gospel of Luke, the heavenly hosts ring out the song of Jesus' birth. And suddenly there was an angel, a multitude with the angel, a multitude of heavenly hosts. A truly awe-inspiring image to represent the universal force that urges us to grow and enthusiastically move forward in life. We light this candle to acknowledge our living light of zeal, the light that is the inward fire of the soul, passionately springing forward to manifest our Christ nature